Oh, save me.
Greetings, sir. This may concern Christian Aguilar here, back with another movie review. And before I get into it, happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you're all really are genuinely safe and well out there this night, because it gets crazy out there during Halloween, so I hope you're all safe and having fun. But if you happen to find yourself watching my channel on this spooky night, then thank you, and welcome to the review of Last Night in Soho. So Last Night in Soho is Edgar Wright's newest film, and if you don't happen to know, he's the brilliant mastermind behind Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, At World's End, Baby Driver, and now Last Night in Soho. This film came out this past weekend, on Halloween weekend. They promoted itself real nicely, and I had the privilege of seeing it Friday night. Now, I know this review is probably not up until Halloween. If you've been keeping up with my videos, you may know that I've been behind on a couple of reviews. However, I am playing catch up right now, so that is why I have to review this much later than I actually saw it. But with the movie now marinating in my head for a couple of days, I have got to say that I've genuinely had fun with this movie. I went out to the theaters to see this. This is exclusively in theaters, and it is very much a fun watch to go out with friends and family and just like have a ball and celebrate being back at the movies with each other. Every performance in this movie is spot on. I mean, there is hardly a weak performance. This movie is very much a mystery that needs to be unfolded spoiler free, so I'm not going to mention or try not to mention any spoilers in this video. Don't worry, you can watch this video and go and watch the movie and you won't know anything. I'll keep things pretty vague for the most part. But with that being said, this movie is fun, and it's really beautiful to look at. I mean, the cinematography is spot on, and it's very interesting to know that Edgar Wright was a fan of Chung Hoon Chung before he got to work with him. I remember hearing in an interview that Edgar Wright said, despite him being a big fan of his, he didn't know if they were going to work well with each other. However, to his delight, they did, and they were able to bring together such a eye-captivating film. And that's not just because the two main actresses are really beautiful. I mean, the cinematography, again, like the lighting in this movie as well. I know that I rip neon lighting to shreds. I don't like when it's overused, but again, when I saw the trailers for this movie, I'm like, it's Edgar Wright. He's gonna know how to make it work, And after watching Soho, he knew how to make it work. It's not like the majority of the film was all in neon. And trust me, I've seen movies that like 90% of the film is all lit in neon color, and I'm like, God, this is a headache. But I love it. It sets a tone. There's some comedy in here, not as much. I think this is the least comedic Edgar Wright film, and I love it because I always knew as a fan of Edgar Wright that he was a fan of horror 100%. So to really see him tackle a supernatural psychological thriller is really entertaining, and it was really awesome to see. And going back on the topic of performances, I haven't really seen Matt Smith play like an evil role. Probably am wrong there. Like, there's probably a great evil role he did before this that I have not seen. And if there is, please let me know down below. What is that movie? I would like to watch that movie. But this is the first time I've seen Matt Smith in kind of like an evil, menacing role, because he's mainly known for like Doctor Who, and Doctor Who is a hero, very charismatic, clumsy at times hero. So to see him take the dark route and become this real nasty character as the movie progresses, it's devilishly good to see on screen, to say the least. And it's an Edgar Wright film if he has a kick-ass soundtrack. And the soundtrack is really, really good in this movie. I mean, it's probably going to get a lot of people into 60s music, but that's totally cool. That's totally fine, man. And that's the thing that I love about films, is that it's made by someone who is such a huge fan of pop culture, and such a huge fan of what came before, that is now presented to us in a new way, in a new hip way. And it's just awesome, man. It's really awesome. Of course, the main reveal shot of her being back in time via the dream, when she goes out into the street and she sees the theater with the Thunderball poster on it, was just, that was just epic. Even though that was in the trailer, that was still epic to see on the big screen. Like, even with the musical score getting like really loud and triumphant, like really epic and beautiful, it's like it just flowed really, really well. Oh, and don't get me started with the mirror shots. Those mirror shots where the actresses, both Anya and Thomason, had to act one-on-one with each other and kind of mirror each other's movements. That was all done practically. I heard both the cast and the director talk about it. intensely during interviews, and I have yet to see the behind the scenes of that. I heard there's a behind the scenes video of that, of them filming the whole mirror dance sequence, and that was just, yeah, that was just real spectacular. And to go into the movie and to know that's all practical and there's hardly any CGI when it comes to their first encounter when in the dream, that's just like speechless. I'm just speechless by that, man. That was all practical, and that was all in the choreography, and that's something you gotta know, man. Like, don't be afraid to run your actors through something, even if it's a small student film. If you got a dance or if you got a fight sequence, anything in your short film, you gotta run through that, man. You gotta run through that, maybe even a little bit more than the lines themselves. You know, lines are, they're kind of easy to remember here and there. You know, if you really work at it and just focus on it, you can remember lines. People can remember lines, but the choreography of certain things, that's tricky. And to know that they were doing that along with creating the effect for the camera, wow, dude. Wow. What a set. What a set. What a movie. This movie is really fun. Again, I have to wrap it up by saying what I said in the beginning. This is a fun movie, and I highly recommend this film for anyone that is a horror movie lover, an Edgar Wright lover, a lover of the 60s, a lover of good music and dance sequences. They're all here, and it's all really fun. So with all of that being said, I gotta say here, and I was really pondering what to rate this movie. This is a really good movie. I'd have to give it a solid 4 out of 5 Skarsgårds. 4 out of 5 Skarsgårds. If I have to say some negative about it, I will say that in the third act, not spoiling, I just adore the practicality of the mirror and dance sequences. So when it came time to the final act, it got a bit CGI heavy for my liking, and I'm like, ooh, they kind of like, okay, I mean, it's understandable. Like, I love most of the effects that they did in the beginning, but then towards the end, it felt like it kind of got like, all right, we need to like do this all in CGI because practically this is going to be like, it's probably going to be a longer shoot or something. But yeah, that just kind of took me out of it a little bit. Other than that, everything else is really good. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for reading to the end of this video. What did you think of Last Night in Soho if you saw it? If you haven't, are you excited to see it? Are you not? Are you not really that hyped? Let me know down below all your thoughts. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe to support this little side hobby I am doing. The Rendered Image, a live show that I co-host with my friends Tyler and Shannon over on Tyler's YouTube channel, which is in the description down below, or it's on the top right-hand corner, right here, for easier access. It's a show we all co-host, going back and forth on the latest movie news, updates, and trailers. It is every Sunday and Thursday, 8:30 p.m., live on YouTube, free for your viewing pleasure. I hope you're all safe and well out there. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.